So hello, we are going to look at this idea of slope, but I do want to preface this with this is not an actual video about explaining slope. This is more of a demonstration between the difference between how you introduce a new topic to students. So let's just say for a second that we are going to be talking about slope. Where do we begin with that? So what I'm going to do in this particular video is I'm going to start with just the basic definition of slope. It is this formula here. And let's just say that we introduce this concept to students, slope, right, using this formula. Maybe we even add on this idea that it's rise over run. We put that in there as well. And then we even go on and we even say, well, here's 2 points, 3, 4, and let's say 7, 1, right? So the slope would be 4 minus 1 over 3 minus 7. Right? So what does that give us? Well, it gives us a negative, or a 3 on the top and a negative 4 on the bottom. So our slope there would be negative 3 over 4. So we just found the slope. Excellent. All right. Now we have slope. Now we have an understanding of slope. Now we know what slope is. Slope is negative 3 over 4, right? We can even do another example. Let's do another example. Again, go from the perspective, even back up for a second and rewind this and think about this from the idea of what are we doing with this formula here. What we're doing, this interaction would be between you and your students is like, okay, let's take another set of points. Let's say the point 5, 1 and the point 6, 2. So in that case, we'd find that the slope is now 2 minus 1 over 6 minus 5. And there's a lot of little pieces going on there if you're paying attention, right? And that ends up giving us 1 over 1, which is just 1. So now once again we found the slope between 2 points. Now, if you paid attention to how some of these parts and pieces were done, I did things a little bit differently in both of those. All right, so we talked about this. We have now explained slope. The idea of what we've done at this point in time is just simply giving it a label. This is a video explaining how we can go through and label a mathematical concept. I'm not necessarily passing a judgment on whether this is a good procedure to go through with students or not. I'm just saying that this is the labeling aspect of that procedure. The questions that we ask. Do students have an understanding of what slope is based upon these two things? Do they have a working knowledge of what slope is? If I ask them what is the meaning of 3/4, do they really understand what that is? Can I give them any 2 points and they can find the slope between those 2 points? Can they tell me the difference between a negative 3/4 slope and a positive 1 slope? What have we really done to explain or build up the idea or the understanding of a student's understanding of slope? Right here, all we've done is we've added some labels. We have a formula to it as well, right? We have a name for whatever we're talking about. And the students can do some computation with it. But what else can they do with it? All right? So I'm going to create a whole other video where we're going to be looking at another aspect of this, the experience part of that. All right, so be checking that, looking out for that as well. Maybe you watch through both of these multiple times to just kind of get an understanding of the difference between the labeling part of knowledge versus the experience part of knowledge. Thank you.